So for Sean, after having watched back Lexington, just your kind of thoughts on the general defensive performance you saw at the weekend.
I thought we, overall performance, defending and attacking, I thought we were pretty good. We didn't have as much possession of the ball as them because we allowed them to have the possession in a non-threatening position for us. They didn't threaten us as much as what I wanted because we kept a good shape behind the ball. And what that did then, it allowed us a lot of space to counter-attack. And we had 2 or 3 moments, especially in the second half, if we do better, then we might force a second goal. But we didn't, and I think overall, looking back on the game, it's probably a fair result for both teams.
2 weeks in a row with the player on the team of the week. This week it was Bruno. We kind of talked about how he can play just about anywhere, but attacking-wise, how have you liked what you've seen so far from him?
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he's strong, powerful. He's got some good feet. He sees a pass, and he's a good finisher. He's a good finisher in training. Strike the ball well with both feet, and he's good in the air. So that was the reason for us to put him a bit closer towards the opposition's goal rather than play maybe a wing back or a full back. But I think through the season you'll find him in a few different positions because he's very flexible, and he's a really good attribute of being able to slot into any position and understand the game. So I'm really pleased with him.
We talked about, I think it was the first preseason game, Brem got hurt. He's back into training now. What can you give us in terms of an update on injury status?
Yeah, we're still, seeing him in some contact training, which is really good. I feel as though he needs to probably have a little bit more of that and a little bit more fitness because he's missed a lot of preseason. It's if you'd have done maybe 3 or 4 weeks of the preseason, then got injured, but I think he missed quite a big chunk. So we need to improve his fitness to make sure that when he does come back, he stays back. He doesn't get injured again. Sometimes if they come back too early or we force them into something they're maybe not ready for, they might get a strain somewhere else. So we're really pleased that he's heading in the right direction and hopefully he'll be on the field for us soon.
Elliot Collier and Romario Williams both haven't been in the 18s due to injury. What kind of updates can you give us on those?
Elliot's done really well. He's come back in. He, like I said, he played the majority of pre-season, got injured one of the final games. So he's now getting back with the squad and looking at where the balance of the other injuries are. He may play some part this weekend.
And Romario?
Romario will be out. He's just had surgery. So he's had surgery. He'll probably be out for another couple of months.
Defending champs are in town this weekend. Juan Tejada is kind of a name that pops off the team sheet to us here in Indy, having him been here and being the MVP of the final last year. What do you kind of see from him and the attacking group they have?
Well, he was fantastic in the final. I know that. He started the season off really well as well. Unfortunately for them, I think he may be struggling with a bit of an injury because he came out the game against Sacramento at the weekend, which looked like a potential hamstring. But if he plays, he'll cause us some problems. But the reason why they're champions is they've got a really good squad. And we're expecting a really tough game because they're champions for a reason. And I've said this all along, not many people speak about them, but they've been in the playoffs 4 years in a row. Prior to winning it, they'd hosted a conference final, I think, before, prior to winning it. So they've been slowly building. And credit to their coaching staff and the club, for getting their first title, and it's something that we hope to follow them with.
2 games into the season so far, how do you feel about just kind of general performance overall and anything you hope to kind of focus on this weekend?
Done okay. We've done okay in the first 2 games. It's a long season. We'll have us ups and downs, and at the minute we're sort of, 2 games in, 4 points. We've got 2 points per game, which if we did that all season, we're probably going to end up at the very top, or if not in the top 2. So we can't get carried away with what we've done. We've got a lot to achieve. And all I want to keep improving on is that consistency of performance so that, week in, week out, we know what we're going to get from the players.
This one's kind of out of left field, but you crossed paths with Brad Ring at Portland, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever think then that he'd be a person that would be calling your games on the broadcast?
Not then, no, because he was a good footballer, and I would never have thought past what he was going to do playing-wise. I know that he was a very smart and intellectual footballer as well, so it's probably really good for him that he can go into that line of work because he sees the game and he'll see the game really well, whether it's on the field playing, whether he's probably coaching it, or whether he's in the booth commentating on it. So I'm looking forward for Brad and to listen to what he's got to say, but I know for a fact that, He has strong roots here in Indy, so I'm hoping he's pulling for us. And like I said, when he was playing, I wish I could have had him on the field because he was a pretty good tackler of the ball.
We'll ask you again at the end of the season, see what you think that after he's talked about Chelsea.
Yeah, and we'll find out whether he says bad things about us, and then we'll have a completely different conversation. But no, he's a great guy, Brad, and I'm really pleased that he's part of what we're trying to do here at Indy.